Hi everyone! My name is Louisa Perrin, and I'm a multidimensional healer and channeler, and a big crystal lover. And today I am very excited because I want to do an experiment with you and my team of light, of course, as well, because they are going to assist me and you while I'm going to do a general reading. Now, I love oracle cards, so it's clear that there's a few of them in front of me, and I just want to see where it goes. I am going to start with using the oracle decks. Several ones, you can tell. There's several ones here on the pile that I selected. I didn't look at them, so I don't know what's underneath. And I've invited a few of my beautiful crystals to help me set the energy, right? So there's a little grid going on here. Not just what you see here. There's a grid around me as well. But since I cannot put that all on camera, you'll have to do it with these beautiful four actually. And as the reading goes on, I'm sure we'll know and find out why specifically those crystals are here right now with us. Now, and also a very important ingredient of this reading will be light language. Now, I never know how it's going to go. Maybe it won't even come through. But as I said, it's an experiment. So I want you to be aware that if all of a sudden there's not coming English through, but there's galactic coming through, no, that is still coming from me, even though you can't see me. But it will be an important ingredient of this reading. Now, as I said, it is going to be a general reading, which will mean in this case that you don't have anything to choose. If you feel like this video or this image even resonates with you, if you feel like my voice is resonating with you, if you feel like I was called to be here, then please know and trust your higher self. Know that it has led you to this specific video. So I always find that a very reassuring feeling, that there's someone, higher self, watching out for me and guiding me all day long in everything that I do. So that was an important thing to mention. Now, let's just see where it takes us today, right? So most of the time, there's a theme that comes up even before I do a reading, right? Most of the time, that's a reading one-on-one, where someone asks me questions or someone comes to me with a problem, Oh, sorry, using the camera. See, it's new for me. I'm learning, and I'm very happy that you have the patience to, or at least I hope you have the patience to work with me today. And as I said, it's an experiment, so we'll see. If you afterwards have any suggestions, even in the practical sense, it will be lovely if you would like to share that underneath in the remarks. And even if you feel touched in some way, or there's something in you where you have questions about the reading or something that came up in you, please feel free to ask that question, or maybe even something that you would like to share as a result of receiving this reading. Now, as I said, it's not just a reading. It absolutely is a reading / healing. And depending on the subject, we'll see where it takes us today. All right? So let's go. I'm going to start with this pile. Now, I don't have a real sequence for it. I just picked some random oracle cards, as you can see. And the only thing I really felt like was I want to end with this card. So I'm putting that right here. And I'm going to start with this one. And the rest, we'll see what happens, right? So let's see what our theme is for today, right? All right. I hope you can see the card. I'll show it as best as I can. Confidence. Now, it's an interesting card, and you immediately see the light code that goes with it. Now, I don't know if you have any earlier experience with light language and light codes and how that works. As for me, it's a complete journey into the unknown still, even while I've been working with it for a while now, but it still brings surprises. It still brings a bigger awareness. It keeps on expanding and expanding. So there's a few things might be good to share with you in how do you receive those codes, right? Because now you have a card here and you have a very clear symbol, the symbol of confidence. Now, you're in an advantage at this point because normally there is no text to go with the light code, right? It's just the code. And you know what? You don't need any more than that because light language comes through in all kinds of ways. In codes on paper, where we write it, it comes through the voice, it comes through singing, it comes through talking, it comes through in art, it comes through in all kinds of ways. And that isn't even limited, right? Because we don't know what else is still being explored from the universe. But what we do know is that in light language, it is a very individual thing, which means that every soul where the light language is being pushed through has different origins, galactic origins, right? So the first time I experienced light language, there was like a zillion of different dialects coming out of my mouth. And I really didn't know what was going on. And at the moment, there's different kinds of dialects that I have a preference for, and they want to connect and want to come through. Now, what I do is I have a strong connection to my team of light, and they know exactly what is right for me to be and what kind of information wants to come through at this point, which is good for me and for the highest good of all, right? So that is always the intention, and that is the intention for this reading as well. Now, working with light language in this sense, and I always feel when I say work, I want to say play, because it really is playing. And playing in this sense, when you pick a card, and that is the light code that wants to come through, all you have to do is look at the light code and open your heart. Have your heart open to receive. Now, of course, your mind is going to want to play tricks on you. Well, I don't even have to mention what kinds of limiting beliefs will come up for you in your mind. But the only way to receive light code and light language is through the heart. And I always love the little story of, Little Prince, where he learns how important it is to be able to see the world through your heart, right? So this is no different. You look at the code with love, from love, and you open yourself up to receive the love that comes from this light code. That's all you have to do. And be open to maybe even receiving messages that are coming through while you are looking at this light code, because that is how it works for me. So maybe even a fun game for you today is to try out, what does this light code tell you, even without the confidence and the rest of the information? Now, it's interesting that I've picked this one because there are several planets and dialects that come into this deck and come through. And one of the planets that I have a very strong connection with is the planet of Lyra. And Lyra has a little bit of a cat-like sound if you listen to it. It's interesting because it's coming through for me at the moment very strongly. So I guess we are working with awareness, right? We are expanding our awareness now. Let's go to the general reading, right? Because the word confidence is an important one for us at this point. And I feel like it has to do with showing up, first of all, for yourself. And then also showing up with all the gifts and the talents you have as a soul, right? You've experienced so much in all these lives you've had. And it is time that we start letting go of all these conditioned beliefs, limiting convictions and beliefs we have, all these thoughts that keep coming up the minute you try to do something that goes out of your comfort zone, right? That you have to start showing things to the world, or at least you feel like you're being guided there, but your mind is trying to keep you safe, right? So confidence in this sense, and especially in the connection with Lyra that I feel, really has to do with that the Lyrans want to let us feel this strong connection with who we truly are, and wants to help us expand our mind and to really start focusing on what you are good at, right? What you are wanting to express. So it's not just confidence. It also feels more like self-expression and expression from who you truly are. So let's see what the other cards are bringing us, right? And to see how this message evolves. Now, it's interesting, of course, because I also use Dutch cards. So don't be surprised when there's Dutch in the text here. I'm going to show you. And I will translate, of course. So I love these cards. These cards have to do with light and dark. And that's the time we're in, right? We have the light, we have the dark. One doesn't go without the other. Now, you see this beautiful spider here and the spider web. And that's what it's called. It's called Miss Spider Web. And it says, think again about all of your relationships and get out there and see what kind of connections you can make. So that's a very interesting card when we have confidence next to it, right? And it tells me that it's time to review the thoughts you have about how you present yourself in the world. Are you being your authentic self? Are you able to express yourself in the way you would like to express yourself, from that deep part of yourself that often a lot of people don't see from you, right? So where are you still very careful? Where are you still rehashing your words all the time, right? Where are you really careful, and where are you? And that's not weird, because especially, well, I know for me, working with light language and really showing people that talent of mine is something that still holds some fear in it, right? It's still a feeling of, will people view me in a different way, right? When I start expressing myself for who I truly am. So I find it very beautiful that this card of the spider web just shows up, because it is time to start making new connections. It's time to see which of the people around me are still meant to be in my life. Who are the people who lift me up, help me lift up? Who are the people who want to see that part of me, or can't wait to see that part of me, and want to get all this beautiful information that wants to come through me, all this pure love that wants to be seen, right? So that is a very interesting card in this sense. Let's see what else. Oh, look at this. The fairy stone. And you see here, and with fertility. Now, this card, it's by the way, it's a very beautiful stone because it's a very light stone. And what it tells me in this sense is that you are so filled, fertile with ideas, with new it's the feeling of, I want to let this come through me. I want to show this. I want to share my ideas without fear, without being afraid that I will be judged, or, where we in past lives off with our head, those kinds of experiences, we're almost, it's almost a feeling like we're bursting with all of this beautiful stuff, and we're afraid to really let it flow into the world. So I guess it's actually very symbolic with the video that I'm making today, is where you just feel like, I want to do this. And of course, there's still a little fear around it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out of the comfort zone, and I'm going to show myself and show what I can do, right? So feel in your heart where you are still. It's like they show me a chicken that is sitting on its eggs, and it's keeping the eggs nice and warm and cozy, but she doesn't really feel ready yet to let the chicks come out, right? So even when she feels like the eggs are already hatching a little bit, it's almost like mama chick doesn't want to let the other chickies come out, she has some kind of fear of letting the chicks roam around the world and do their own thing. It's like she's still wanting to protect her little chickies. And this is the image I get with this stone, is where we are filled up with all these beautiful ideas, not even our ideas, right? So remember that the ideas that are coming through are inspired by something greater, inspired to bring into this world right now, even right now, in order for us to be able to get to this new age that we're all waiting for. But we are part of the new age. We are part of the golden age. So the ideas that want to come through right now are so important to let them flow and come through, right? So think about where you are still letting your fears rule you, right? Because it's now the thing that you have inside is so it needs to come out. We need it, right? So if you, next time when you feel like there's an idea coming up and you feel your fears are coming up, be mindful of those fears. Look them in the eye and try to find out where those fears come from, where they stem from. Maybe there's a former life that is still wanting to get your attention. And be mindful of that, because at this point in time, we are being guided to go within more than we've ever done before. At least that is how I feel. And we are being guided to go inside and find out what is still in our way. What is still holding us back in showing who we truly are and having the confidence to show the complete part of who we are, right? Now, it's interesting because my dragon here, this is a beautiful titanium quartz dragon. His name is Tybalt. And Tybalt is a dragon that maybe you can even feel it. I'm sure you can actually. A very unconditional dragon with so much love, but he is also very powerful. And I remember the first time he came into my house, in my home, it took a week for me to really have the courage to connect with him. And I feel like he is very present in this reading at the moment. So try and connect with the dragon energy, because he is saying, it is so important to let the fire come out of your mouth, let your power come through. Now it's interesting because I also have a beautiful piece of pyrite here lying here, which is really the stone for the solar plexus, where your power, your inner sun, your inner light is active, and you want to be seen. It's time to be seen. So Tybalt is, while we are doing this reading, is sending out its energy to help us become more confident, to help us connect to who we truly are, but especially that power that has been even as a child, you may have had the experience that your power was not accepted, was not allowed. You needed to be, you were small, so you shouldn't speak too much, shouldn't show yourself too much. And this is what Tybalt is sharing right now. It's like your inner child may be very much wounded and is very much afraid to step into that confidence and really show their treasures, right? Because the gifts we have inside really are treasures, and we need them for the new age. So let's see what else wants to come through. Look at this, the Bornite. It's another it's another Dutch card, Bornite, and it stands for joy. So you see all the beautiful, beautiful stones here. Now, I have one here in my collection, the Bornite. It's also called, I think it's called peacock pyrit. Now, it's interesting because I didn't know what I picked, and this beautiful rock wanted to join us today. Now, peacock pyrite is a form of pyrite, right? It just has all these, in chemical sense, it has all these other chemical substances that connect it to the pyrite. And that is why these colors are so, it's like blue, purple, pink even, coming through, and it glows and glows. And the peacock for me is an animal that gives us the feeling of wanting to be proud of who we are, right? Not from the ego sense, but from the heart. I am proud to be who I am. I am proud to show myself to the world. So I completely love this card in the sense of the other ones. And look at the colors even, even the Miss Spiderweb card is taking on these colors. Look at the titanium, look at Tybalt, look at the amethyst that wanted to join as well. This is all about showing the divine self, showing who you are, right? The divine color of purple. Purple is the color of your crown chakra. It is the color of the divine in itself. And so this card, when you think of joy, it Bornite or peacock pyrit. I love that word. It's better than the Bornite. But anyway, it's the idea is that in order to come into that divine confidence, even, right? The confidence in your divine self, in that higher part of who you are. If you focus on joy and focus on the things you love, what I'm doing now is really what I love. It combines all the things that I love playing with. And so I even, while doing this, feel my own vibration rising, right? And it's actually so easy. Focusing on something that you love immediately brings you into more joy, but also brings you closer to those gifts, because where your passion is, where your love for doing things is connected to joy, right? And it's also connected to your mission and what you are truly here to do. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be rough. It can be easier, especially, of course, I am by no means dismissing all of the painful emotions that we are still dealing with and have to go through, and all the challenges that come on our path. They are teaching us, they are bringing lessons, but the dark and the light, it becomes easier when you are also able to, even if it is only once a day, or maybe twice a day, or every other day, it doesn't matter. When you allow yourself to focus a little more on the things that bring you joy, and that can even be eating something that you really love, or having that beautiful cup of coffee that you enjoy, or sit in the sun for a few minutes, or it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it brings you joy, it will help you raise in vibration and make you even feel better as well. You just feel better while focusing on that. So in the sense of being able to show yourself joy makes it easier. It's fun. Something pops in my head that I want to share with you guys. So maybe there's people who, or some of you who will recognize this, is I love taking photographs, especially in nature. And when I go out in nature with my camera, it brings me so much joy because I focus on those things that I love and I find so beautiful. And from my heart, I want to share these pictures because I want to show the people how beautiful the world is, even while we're going through these deep, 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 and trust me, I know what it's like, these deep, deep transformations, transmutations, these deep initiations even. Life can be tough and rough and heavy, and sometimes you may even say, beam me up, Scotty, I want to go home. You're sick of this whole earth and all the pain and everything you see around you. But for me, just taking photographs helps me connect with more joy, or at least bring something lighter into my focus at that point, right? With a camera, you literally focus on things that you love. So maybe that's some inspiration that I can share with you for you. Okay, the next card. Okay, another Dutch one. The Angel of Alchemy. Now look at this beautiful card. I told you, just mentioned the process of transformation, of transmutation. Now, alchemy, the Angel of Alchemy, and it says a miracle. Now, when you look at the cards, you see from joy, we go to alchemy. So we are changing the energy that we are in by focusing on the light code of confidence. And remember that it's okay to choose those people that you already connect even a little bit with in order to really start showing yourself, right? But focusing, using those ideas, taking them with you, be inspired with those ideas, because they will bring you joy. Working and playing with these ideas will bring you joy. And then you see that there's the Angel of Alchemy who simply says to you, when you focus on the things that bring you joy, miracles can and will happen. Even if the miracle is in a day where you've been dealing with a lot of pain or sadness or grief or whatever is going on in your life right now, please remember that at this point, it's important to, even if it's just little baby steps, focus on things, on little pieces of the puzzle that bring you. It doesn't even have to be passion right now, if that's not where you can go, because you cannot shift from despair and fear and hopelessness, maybe even, to extreme joy and ecstasy and whatever all these emotions are. You have to please be gentle with yourself in that process. But it is very clear what your higher self is telling you right now. It is telling you to revisit the way you've thought about things, the way to revisit the thoughts that are coming up in your mind about what other people think about you or feel, or how they feel about you in any point. The rose quartz really wants to bring through this beautiful ray of unconditional love that you are now being guided to really embrace for yourself first. Because only if you feel that unconditional love in your heart, you can start showing up with confidence from the heart. And that is not confidence, as I said, from the mind. It's the confidence from the heart. The heart knows who it truly is. The mind is always confused. It doesn't know the truth. Only your heart does. So it's important to recognize that with this unconditional love, focus, make sure that you let yourself go towards this joy. Allow yourself to feel those, or not even just feel them, but move towards them in order to be able to feel those little bit lighter emotions. Find the balance for yourself. That is at this point very important. Okay. Now, look at this. We talked about the inner child, right? Look at this and look at the colors. That even is all indigo, right? Look how beautiful the indigo child. Inspire, heart, dialogue, action, passion, and community. Now, this is very beautiful. Community even, right? We were talking about the spider who is able to revisit its connections and to see what does work and what doesn't work, what does feel good for me, who feels good for me and who doesn't, right? You are allowed to choose who you want to connect with. And I can't get over these colors, guys. Look at this. Purple, blue, indigo, right? The color of the third eye even. And also see the light codes that are on this card as well, going through. Beautiful, with the blue rose here, the blue rose with its 33 petals. Now that is a very interesting one, because look at this one, the number 21. That is also a 3, right? Here is another 3. It's interesting. This is a really interesting card. I'm going to do it this way because I want to really show off this one. The indigo child, a lot of us are from this stream of beautiful light children who have come here to help build this beautiful new earth, right? And the indigo child is very intuitive. Look at her third eye here, right? She's very intuitive. And if I look at the words, it's so funny because I think that all of the words I've actually used today. Inspire, heart energy, dialogue, action, passion, right? And community. So we are on our way in finding our new tribe. But in order to be able to find them, and that's what Miss Spiderweb says as well, and have the confidence to do that, is to really connect with this indigo child inside of us. She has so much wisdom to give, but because of the old limitations, the old conditioning from our parents, from where we grew up, from the people around them, even our teachers and the whole collective energy, there is still fear with us that when we really start showing this indigo child in all of its glory and glitter and little stars and beautiful energy, that something bad could happen. That is the old pain that's still talking. So it's important to start going within and try to figure out where the pain still is and how it can be transmuted, because it's interesting. We know how to transmute it. By focusing on your joys, you will be able to start healing your indigo child way faster and easier. I've always said that playing is healing. What children do, the play they do, is teaching them, right? They are teaching, they're being taught, but in the easiest way possible because they're having fun. And this is no different than for us, right? So remember that when you are in a dark place or where you're feeling so insecure or scared of making mistakes or whatever, in whichever way it comes through for you, please know how important it is to focus on the joy and connect with that beautiful indigo child. She has the gifts. She wants to share them with you, but you need to make sure that you take care of her needs first. If you forget about her and you want to walk all over her with your mind, like to try to push yourself through something, it will not work and it will backfire, right? So make sure that you give your inner child time. Focus on the fun things. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Oh, look at this. What a beautiful card this is. Green Tara, Supreme Protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. Look at her, all these beautiful flowers and all the blue. See the blue, the green of the heart chakra. And even here, the colors match again, right? The blue, the purple, the pink, and the green of our heart energy, right? So don't be afraid in showing yourself to the world. Do it in little fragments, little steps. They don't have to be big, as I said, and make sure you really know, and that is what my team of life wants to share with you all today, is that it's so important that you feel protected and that you feel safe. And I feel a little bit of light language wanting to come through for you in this case. So all you have to do is receive. Maybe even close your eyes and just let it come through you. Just let it flow through you. The light language has to do with having faith, feeling protected, feeling safe, feeling guided in any minute, and trying to help you connect to the confidence that is innate to you, right? It's your nature to feel this confidence. Eurtuko tarte katar turtuko to eurto arte koto kotorteke ortuko torte uturtuko te utokorate te kortotoko eurturtuko ta eurturtuko toko eurturtuko to a eu kurtuko urturteke te eututututu kortarte koto. Eurturtukuto orturte uturtaka iteotukua. Eurturtuko eutoko eurturtuku urteutoka teutuku eurtorte kuturtukurte kutukuturturte kutua. Ertukorte utukurta orturte kutukutuke ortuko attekete. Ortukutukortarte ututukotorte utukorturte keta arte utuko. Ortukorturtukote ututukortukutu arte utukutua. Urturtukutu urtukore tukutukotukorte utukara. Turtukoto eututarte utuko eutukurtekete. Turtuko euturteutoa. Urtuko tekete rutukuta eutukurturutuku teuturtekuta. Turtukutuke eutukotartekete. Arteutukutu orteutuka. Turtukuta arte te. turtukute otortea. E turtukutukite ortukutukutortea. E urtukute. Ah. Beautiful. It's a beautiful confirmation of really be able to feel the protection that is right here for you. You can even ask about it. You can simply ask your team of light to be there for you while trying out new things, while taking little baby steps out of your comfort zone. Make sure that if you feel the fear and you really notice that it's cramping your style, right? It really is. Sometimes you need to get that negative Nancy inside to get out of the way. But for me, it always helps in a better way when I ask for protection so that I can feel safe, and I feel safe that I will be protected in the things I say, in the things I let come through, and even in the things that are coming through, right? So in whatever way that is applicable for you right now, please remember to always ask for that protection. They're always here for you. And that's the message that Tybalt, my dragon, is giving you. It does not have to be perfect. It's about the enjoyment of what you're doing and not about the end result, right? It's just about having fun. Remember that when you start experimenting with things. Now, we have one last card. Remember, I told you this is the card that I want to take and wait for it. And look at the colors, guys. Look at the colors. The purple and the green and even the blue in the eye. Look at the eye. And they almost all have, now she has brown eyes, but the rest, look at those eyes, guys. Number 21. Even 21, again, look, 2 times 21. And the number 3, it's so interesting. So I'm going to take a look at the energy of this card and just try and feel it yourself. What is wanting to come through for you right now? Because it feels for me like this card has to do with really embracing new people on your path, loving people with the energy, with your community, your soul tribe. They are coming. But in order to be able to receive what these beautiful souls are wanting to bring to you from their individual soul paths, it's very important that you find your worth. You cannot receive that beautiful unconditional love when it's not yet embraced by you, right? So that's the whole process. It's such a beautiful conclusion. This is what it's about. Remember that what you have to offer is just as important as what someone else has to offer you. So don't put people on a pedestal. Because if you see yourself doing that, putting the other person on the pedestal, please remember that you are looking at all the talents you have inside of you yourself. It's just the process of letting go of these old fears, letting go of the pain of the child, of the fear of the child, and step by step, baby step by baby step, little by little by little, you'll start to take these steps towards really being authentically yourself, having that beautiful confidence from the heart, and start showing up for yourself first, right? That's one, and then showing up for everyone else. We need you. You are a very important part of the shackles, of your important puzzle part in this new world that we are creating together, right? And so try and get this it's interesting because the first and the last card are both about simply letting that information come in. This is a holographic image, right? This is a light code, and they both want to tell you the same thing. Start shining your light, start being who you truly are. Show other people that yes, you are very much allowed to be careful and to take small steps, but know that you are always protected in this whole process that you are in right now. I'm going to pull one last card, and I'm just pondering which deck I'm going to pick. And I think I'm going to pick, and oops, it almost fell out of the, out of my cupboard here. So I have one last, and those are the dolphin cards. Now I love dolphin energy. And as you can tell, it just simply falls out. Now, this is a Dutch card, mind you. So look at this beautiful card where the diver dives deep into the ocean and meets the dolphin on its level. This is the connection with your soul tribe, right? And it says, that's an interesting translation. Well, I'm not going to translate it because just look at the image. This is about wanting to connect to other, not just other people, but also other souls, right? And the dolphins are a beautiful symbol of unconditional love. Look at all the rainbows and all the beautiful orbs here underwater, and the light, the rays of sun peeking through the ocean, and even deep enough until they reach the ocean floor, right? All the way to the bottom. It feels like this is really where we want to connect again. And there's a message here while connecting with those beings around us. It wants to remind you of your spiritual capabilities, of your psychic capabilities. Everyone has them. Everyone has this intuition. It's just a matter of developing them or releasing some kind of fear that you have, right? So let those fears, look them in the eye, let them be. Try to breathe through them when they really want to grasp and the mind takes over. Try to breathe through them and try to reconnect with your heart to come back to that confidence. Sweet friends, I love doing this reading for you. I hope it resonates with you. Please feel free to comment in the comments section. If you have any suggestions or ideas or things that you want to share with me, please feel free. I'd love to hear from you. And I wish you a wonderful day. And I hope to see you soon.